The Markt-Ticker, Carl Denninger, my favorite, talks about the changing of Florida's pension system.
And they're changing it because?
Well, because they can't afford it.
And why can't they afford it?
Because the people that we elect don't have any cojones, and they don't manage the money, just like you said.
They got great pensions too.
Well, they get great pensions too. However, they can't do anything because they can't afford to. What we've done
is they can't fight the unions.
Well,
because the unions get them elected.
Yes, and there is no accountability, as we're seeing in our own fair county.
Zero.
Which they rob from everyone and then act like they do a good job, and they're all...
And passing the buck.
Yes, and everybody's friends with other people.
Now, here's the thing. You
can
work for the state of Ohio for 30 years and put all your money in your pension. In your 3 highest years of pay, that's the pension your pension's set on. So only 3 years out of 30. So all you got to do is score one good job for 3 years and make a ton of money, and then we're going to pay you the rest of your life, however long you live.
Yeah, they rotate you into those good jobs too.
So they rotate people into
teachers
those jobs.
do the same thing.
Yes, and
all of a sudden they're teaching.
And even if you screw up at the end, you'll still get your pension, guaranteed.
It's a guaranteed system. Now,
so screw up, move up, and never have another problem.
Well, as you say, it doesn't run like a business.
No.
And
there are no guarantees that I get a retirement for putting in all these years and employing all these people and paying all these taxes. But there sure is a guarantee for you work for the government.
Well, if you pick the wrong employment or you pick the wrong business, that's your problem.
I'm talking about me running my own business.
Problem.
Right.
They picked the right business. They publicly served all these years,
so
doing all this great job. And now they deserve it, except for we can't afford it, and the politicians that came before them, they didn't keep in check. They were part of the problem, and now they're going to have to pay. So if you think General Motors didn't make promises,
they made
DP&L made promises. All these companies made promises, and you can't hold them up.
So
now that the tax revenue's not coming in, and you can't get the tax revenue because we pulled production 30 years forward.
The current taxes pay for the current pensions, not for the future.
Yes.
So,
the glorious baby boomers promised everything, delivered nothing, and are a bunch of lazy scum.
So,
sorry, I shouldn't attack those people.
You've got to be nicer, Greg. So, what they're doing in Florida is all future hires and current employees, they got their rates hiked. They have taken a look at the actuarials and changed...
No hazard pay based on the average?
Hold on. They started to change things.
Boring. And they're going to kick you over to 401ks if you
Anyway, so pensions, no more peak, but on average. The average of your 30 years is what you get paid. Done. Not how much you made your top 3 years. The retirement age goes up. So, now it's something like 60 and etc. You need things.
Retirement age goes up, no grandfathering, and they're going to bar double dipping.
No more double dipping. Once you're done, you're done. And you can't do 2 of those. No grandfathering. And it's a big change.
Well, it's a big change. It's not going to be enough, but Florida recognizes, as our state of Ohio will soon be recognizing, as their...
Well, no, they're never going to admit that they have a problem until it's way past something they can fix.
But if you admit to a problem and think about and plan for it, that's socialism.
Oh, yes. It's funny. In the EU, they have, state-sponsored retirement that everybody gets. And the retirement ages differ between one country and another country. And Greece recently talked about raising their age from 60 to 62, and the Greeks went wild, says, oh, no, you can't do that. And the German says, wait a second, your economy's falling, we're going to bail you out, and we just raised ours from 65 to 67.
Well, and if you get right down to it, retirement is only a relatively new device, only in the last 80 years. There was no such thing as retirement before.
Ben Franklin, the way you retired was 6 feet under.
Yes, you died.
Yes.
And coming to people like David and myself, that's the way we're going to retire.
Absolutely.
Those of you that are getting up there and thinking you're going to get out, you may get it, but you're not going to. So you better get on board with changing things.
Paying into something that is not going to work is kind of crazy. Now,
yeah, why am I paying into Medicare? Why am I paying into Social Security?
People talk about Social Security, same thing, but
it's really.
Let me say something. The different states and their pension plans are really pretty outrageous. I'm sorry. I have a real problem with the kinds of pension offerings that we're making here, and the double dipping, getting your pension, and then forever and ever, from whenever you retire with X number of years of service, and then being able to go and get another job. No, the pension is for retirement, not as a supplement for extra work.
Mathematically impossible. It's time for these government to be held account.
So we'll post a link to this, and you can argue all you want. But I'd also like to see when you screw up big enough that you let millions of dollars slip through your hands without any accountability, the only retirement plan you should have is in a cell at the Ohio State Penitentiary. No retirement, do not pass go, do not collect all those dollars. It's time. You can't just bail out of a bad situation, keep your pension, and say, oh, I was wrong. Or, I'm sorry.
I go for the French solution, but nobody likes the French, but that guillotine worked pretty well.
All right.
Why should I pay him $25,000 a year to be 3 hots in a cot?